In the infinite dark sea of space, beyond the last whisper of sunlight, a lone traveler drifts silently. It's not a spaceship crewed by astronauts, nor a probe with a return ticket. It's Voyager 2, an old but persistent messenger launched by humanity nearly 5 decades ago. Most people believe that after crossing the boundary of our solar system, it simply became a silent observer, whispering back signals from the edge of the void. But now, something has changed. Voyager 2 has seen something. Something that was never supposed to move. Something that wasn't supposed to be there. For years, its journey through the interstellar medium had been uneventful. Just particles, magnetic fields, and cosmic silence. Until the silence broke. Until a motion, deliberate and unmistakable, was caught drifting in the darkness. Something moving with purpose. And when scientists on Earth decoded the strange anomalies Voyager 2 transmitted, a chilling realization began to settle over them. What we feared deep down might actually be true. Voyager 2 had long passed the planets, past Neptune, past Pluto, past the heliopause, the invisible line where our sun's influence fades and interstellar space begins. Out there, it was expected to drift quietly, picking up minor fluctuations in space dust and solar radiation. But instead, it picked up movement. The kind of movement that doesn't happen by chance. At first, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory noticed what they thought was a blip in the plasma wave data, a spike that lasted only seconds. These instruments are incredibly sensitive and usually report on changes in particle densities or interactions with magnetic fields. But this time, the signal carried a strange signature. It pulsed in a rhythm. It wasn't just data. It felt like a pattern, not natural, not random. Engineers thought perhaps it was interference, maybe a glitch due to cosmic rays or even system degradation. After all, Voyager 2 is nearly 50 years old. But when the same signal repeated and with increased strength, they knew something was wrong, or perhaps very right. Because the data wasn't noise, it was a broadcast. Voyager 2 had seen something, and it had recorded it. When the data was cleaned up and analyzed, something emerged that sent a ripple through the scientific community. There was an object approximately 500,000 kilometers from the probe moving at a velocity inconsistent with any known natural body in that region. No asteroid belts, no rogue planets, no expected comets. And yet this thing, whatever it was not just drifting, it was tracking. The direction of movement was toward the same vector that Voyager 2 was traveling. The object's speed adjusted slightly in a way that mimicked Voyager's trajectory. Imagine a predator stalking silently in the wake of its prey, adjusting its movements just enough to stay in range, but not enough to provoke suspicion. NASA scientists weren't alone in their panic. Independent astronomers and military observers, especially those involved in deep space tracking, were pulled in. They confirmed it. It wasn't a malfunction. The plasma density readings, the magnetometer anomalies, even slight fluctuations in the probe's gyroscopic data all pointed to a single conclusion. Voyager 2 had company. And that company might not be benign. Perhaps the most terrifying revelation came not from what Voyager 2 saw, but from what it sent back. A radio frequency burst, piggybacked onto the regular telemetry feed, contained a digital signal that had no origin in Voyager's own systems. It wasn't programmed to send this, but it did. When decrypted, the packet of data contained a series of binary strings that, when plotted visually, formed patterns, almost like glyphs. Not natural cosmic waves. Not background noise. These were constructed deliberately. Some scientists compared the shapes to crop circle geometry. Others saw echoes of symbols from early human history, spirals, intersections, recursive loops. A team of AI linguists and astrophysicists fed the binary strings into contextual analysis algorithms. The results were horrifying. The structure of the signal matched what we'd expect from an intentional transmission, not from Voyager, but from something else. Something that had either hijacked or embedded itself into the signal stream. Whether it acted as a warning or a message, nobody could say for sure. The implication was unmistakable. Voyager 2 wasn't alone in deep space, and whatever it encountered might have noticed us back. The scientific community split almost overnight. Some called this the evidence we'd been waiting for, proof that we are not alone. Others sounded a darker note, worrying this could be surveillance, or worse, a prelude to something more dangerous. For decades, the idea of extraterrestrial life had been mostly an academic exercise tied to exoplanets and faint radio whispers from distant stars. This was different. This was close, and it wasn't passive. As Voyager 2's instruments kept recording, a team at the Deep Space Network pulled an unfiltered stream of electromagnetic readings. Frequencies oscillated in patterns the analysts had never encountered. At first, they assumed interference, cosmic rays, ordinary background fluctuations. But isolating and enhancing the waveforms revealed a structured sequence pulsing with mathematical precision, almost as if it were artificial by design. They ran a Fourier analysis. What emerged mirrored the harmonic frequencies of hydrogen, the universe's most abundant element, but inverted, a deliberate alteration of that natural signature. What could that mean? The signal wasn't just noise. It looked like it was trying to speak. Cross-referencing the signal's path with Voyager 2's trajectory exposed another chilling fact. The movement had shifted. It wasn't random. It was tracking the probe. Then, in an archival dive, an intern at NASA uncovered decades-old telemetry from Voyager 1. Comparing those old logs with the new data produced a disturbing alignment. In the exact same region of interstellar space, decades earlier, Voyager 1 had suffered a brief data anomaly nearly identical to what Voyager 2 was now reporting. Back then it had been written off as static. Viewed with modern tools, it looked like a first encounter. Scientists reprocessed the Voyager 1 logs with today's AI-powered decoding tools. The waveform matched the current event almost perfectly. This was no coincidence. Something or someone had been waiting in the void, and it had encountered both Voyager probes. The implications sank in. This was not the first time we'd been noticed. Using high-precision modeling, teams mapped the anomaly's motion. It didn't follow gravitational arcs like a comet or asteroid. Instead, its trajectory bent unnaturally, as if warping space-time itself to remain hidden. Every simulation failed to reproduce its path using known physics. Worse, the object appeared to accelerate and decelerate at will, hovering on the edge of visibility, always just beyond the reach of standard optical instruments. NASA scientists described its behavior as reactive. It only moved in response to Voyager's transmissions. Was it listening? Learning? Or was it trying to avoid being seen altogether? Some began to ask a darker question. What if Voyager 2 didn't just discover this object? What if it provoked it? Visually, the object remained elusive, a ghost on the edge of detection. But Voyager's magnetometer began to register rapid magnetic flux changes, shifts so sharp they suggested active manipulation of electromagnetic fields. Around the world, speculation flared into conspiracy. People claimed Voyager 2 had made contact with an interstellar intelligence. This wasn't just idle chatter. A former JPL engineer leaked an internal report suggesting the anomaly's field disruptions formed torus-shaped energy distortions, eerily similar to theoretical Alcubierre drives, warp-like fields that could, in theory, fold space. Had Voyager stumbled onto technology way beyond our understanding? The energy patterns weren't fading, they were intensifying. And with every pulse, every wave, one terrifying truth resonated: we are not alone. We never were. Then something even stranger happened on Earth. Radio telescopes in Chile, Australia, and South Africa began detecting faint, repeating echoes of the same distorted frequency Voyager 2 had recorded. These echoes were buried under the background hum of cosmic radiation, nearly impossible to spot. Yet they shared one chilling feature. They pulsed in perfect synchrony with the transmission delays of Voyager 2's deep space signals. It was as if something out there was mirroring the probe's activity. Analysts coined a name for it: the phantom pulse. Attempts to triangulate the source returned inconclusive results, but one conclusion was undeniable. This was not a localized blip. Whatever was out there had found a way to project its presence across vast regions of space simultaneously. The pattern wasn't merely intelligent. It was strategic, designed to be noticed, but only when humanity reached a certain level of comprehension. Inside classified scientific circles, the conversation shifted from "what is it?" to a far more disturbing question: why now? Voyager 2 had drifted silently for nearly 5 decades. Its fate expected to be quiet obscurity. Then, just as artificial intelligence and quantum decoding reached maturity on Earth, the anomaly responded. Coincidence? Or invitation? Some scientists proposed a chilling hypothesis. The object wasn't reacting to Voyager alone but to Earth's technological advancement. It had been patiently observing, waiting for the moment when we could understand its message, and then it chose to reveal itself. Governments quietly imposed media blackouts. Private observatories were shut down. Some AI researchers were reportedly reassigned without explanation. Behind closed doors, the same question echoed louder than ever. Did Voyager 2 trigger first contact, or did it awaken something we were never meant to find? In the end, Voyager 2 stopped being just a messenger from Earth. It became the trigger for a revelation that shattered our sense of cosmic solitude. A moving structure in the void mirrored transmissions across the globe, encoded frequencies that refused to fit into the tidy boxes of human science. None of it made easy sense. Something or someone is out there, not billions of light years away, but lurking in the shadows beyond the heliopause, watching and waiting. And perhaps the most unnerving detail of all, they chose this moment to respond. Not when Voyager launched, not when it crossed Neptune, but now, when our species finally had the technological threshold to decode what they were saying. The question is no longer whether we're alone. The real question is, what have we just woken up? Stay alert. This story is far from over. The next signal could come at any moment, and the next discovery might not just change what we know about the universe, it might change who we are.